Hey everyone! In this video, you're going to be learning how to work Tunisian knit stitch cables. I have a little swatch here. The beginning was where I was just doing a bunch of Tunisian knit stitches, and then I created this cable here. You can see that there's a twist, that these 3 stitches move from right to left in front, and then you have 3 stitches that go underneath from left to right in the back. And what I did was I added a couple of purl stitches on either side to emphasize the cable right here. So I've come to the point where I've done my cable and I have worked 4 rows without twisting anything. And right here I have 2 knit stitches, 1 purl, and then in the middle I have a 3x3. I'm going to create a 3x3 cable. I've got 6 stitches overall. I'm going to take these 3 stitches, put them under, and these 3 stitches I'm going to put over. So we're going to twist them, and then we're going to end with a purl stitch and then 2 knit stitches. Well, 1 knit stitch and then the 1 stitch at the end. Okay, so let's get to it. For this tutorial, you're going to need your Tunisian crochet hook, and then you're going to need 2 cable holders. Right here I have 2 thin double-pointed knitting needles. I like using these. I think they're easier to grab than the cable needles. You can do that. I think even thin chopsticks would work, like the takeout chopsticks will probably work as well, but you're going to need 2 of them. If you're familiar with knitting cables, I think you only need 1 knitting cable holder, but here you're going to need 2. So I'm going to set those aside, and I have my yarn and my Tunisian crochet hook right here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is knit stitch and then purl. And this helps emphasize the cable itself. Okay, now we have the 6 cable stitches here. We're going to skip 3. I'll just point them out to you right now. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm going to skip 3, work into the next 3. Skip 3, now work knit stitches into the next 3. Okay, take your first needle, whether it's a needle, whether it's a knitting needle or a tapestry needle or a chopstick, whatever it is, you're going to go through. I recommend something thin so you're not, so it's not too tight. Like I want this needle to be thinner than my crochet hook. So you're going to slip that into the 3 that you just worked and slip your crochet hook out of it. Okay, it's super loose right now. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. It feels super tight, but remember that you've got this float in the back, and that float is going to translate into making these loops a little bit looser. Okay, now we're going to work into the stitches that we had just skipped. We're going to work. This is going to be a little bit finicky, but I want to move that float away because I want to work the knit stitch from front to back, but above that float. So you can see my float's here and my crochet hook is here. I don't want to work it this way because I don't want to grab onto it. I want to leave it alone. So I drop that float down, be underneath my knit stitch. Okay. Remember to do a yarn over. Instead of just grabbing the yarn, you want to do a full yarn over and then pull up that loop. Okay, same thing with the next 2 stitches. Knit above the float, pull through. Okay, so now you have these 3 stitches. You have these 3 stitches on your cable needle. You're going to grab your other needle and you're going to slip these 3 stitches that you just completed off your crochet hook. Okay, and you're going to tug a little bit as well. Now you're going to take, now you've got a lot of needles and hooks and things going on, right? You're going to take your active yarn, put it in between the first needle and the second needle. So it's sort of in the front of your work. Okay, it's in front of that first set of 3, but behind the second set of 3. And now what we're going to do, we have our cable stitches on separate needles. And now we can twist them and put them back onto our crochet hook. So the first set we're going to slip back onto our crochet hook is this back set. And as you pull, you'll see that the float kind of disappears because this crochet hook is a little bit thicker. And now you have your active yarn in the front. You're going to take your next crochet needle and then slip these 3 stitches back onto your crochet hook. Okay, and it's super tight. If you want, you can, this is the active yarn. You can loosen this up a little bit if you feel like it's just a little too uncomfortable. And then you're going to finish your row. So we're going to work a purl. Okay, let me get these needles out of the way. And then a knit. And then the last stitch. Okay, now we're going to work a regular return row through this. It is very tight, so just be careful that you only grab 2 loops each time. Oops, now grab 3, and pull that back. Okay, so I've completed my return row, and I've completed the twist part of my cable. For the next row, we're going to work in the regular pattern, but we want to make sure that we pick up the right stitches. I want to take this end off my hook because it was clinking. Okay, oh, hold on. I want to tug a little bit on that first stitch so it doesn't leave a super loose end. Okay, let's do a purl stitch. And now we're going to work into what looks like a mess, but you'll see that there are 3 stitches here to work into. You have to do a little tugging, but you can see the 3 vertical bar pairs, right? It's a little bit, this last one is a little bit behind because of the twist in our cable. But you can see the 3 here, and that's what we're going to work into. We're going to work knit stitches. 1, 2, and then this last one, do a little bit of tugging, and you can find it, 3. And then in the front, you'll see we have 3 here as well. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, then the next one is a purl. And then a knit, and then the end. Okay, so we've completed our forward row, and now we do, again, a regular return row. And the return row is going to get easier as you go because once you get past the twist, the stitches do get easier again. And then depending on how you like your cable to look, you can choose how many rows of just knits and purls you like to put in before your next twist. So you can see that's where our cable is. So there's the twist that we just did, and this was our first one. I tend to keep things tight because I like the definition of having the cable as it twists to be a little bit tighter. You can play with your tension as well, and you can see there's our Tunisian crochet knit stitch cable. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you liked this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much, and thanks for watching.